Hello everybody and welcome to the highlights package for the December 2019 Australian Grand Prix from the Virtual Open Wheels series. This is the first race of the 5th season of the championship, and it was the first one in Formula 1 hardware in all of the 2 years that the series had ran up to this point. Using a mod converted from Race Room, replicating the 2010 specification of Formula 1 cars, the understeering nature of these vehicles posed a great challenge to the teams when they were trying to learn the cars' intricacies during the off-season. As for the driver market, Peter Jones had got a promotion to join the reigning champions of 86E Racing alongside the drivers' champion Max Reichel. As for the championship, the pre-season preparations made it very clear that it was going to be an ebbing and flowing battle between 86E Racing and CroussetteGrand Prix, who revealed a very bassy, all-Polish lineup of Kalbarcyzk and Kuzic. The dark horses of the championship as ever were Aspentino, Force Bologna and Reading Game Studios, who also threatened a very decent pace in the early stages of the championship. Let's now throw it over to the very young version of myself, Tom Dillon, and Marton Farkas, and enjoy the highlights.
For round 1 of the Virtual Open Wheel Series, Season 5. We go.
Joe Gillett with a jump start.
Lights out and away we go. Joe Gillett got a jump start, as he says, and there's immediately an issue. Massey, or was that Max? It was either Massey or Max. It was Max. Has just completely been ruined off the start. Joe Gillett as well, stopping. Max has no front wing. He will have to stop immediately. Also, Massimiliano Ribioli has been bogged down, and the Prime GP car on the Goma there getting bogged down again. So we look further forward. Jakub maintains the lead. Joe Gillett initially has retired from this race before the end of lap 1 even.
I want to say Mazda just dumped it in the wet qualifying a few years ago.
We have the start again. Bear with me a second. You can see the live timing there. And let's have a look at what happened. So, if we look at Joe Gillett, you can see Joe Gillett just stops. Gabriel Lafreniere has to move along with the Prime GP car. And then that gets... the Prime GP car gets airborne. And then Max Crousett just cannot get out of the way of Joe. So that sends... also the team... So then Max careers into Sean. But Sean is able to get away with it. 3. However, Massey down and a terrible start for the Reading Game cars. Although Massey is now going for a move on Creox Baguette. He goes round the outside. Creox is going very defensive heading into this turn here, but Massey gets the move done. Max Crousett is now crawling back to the pits with no front wing.
Sector where the same part where you almost lost it previous lap, and now he's being overtaken quite easily by Ribioli.
Max gets past Jakub, but I don't quite think that'll be the end of it for Jakub. Looking at his T-cam now, Max goes very defensive. Jakub tries to look for the switchback, but it isn't on. There isn't enough room there. And it looks like Max has got the move done later. Sean Jones comes out of the pits, still with a broken front wing. He comes out of the pits with a broken front wing. And I don't quite know what's happened here, actually. So, Sean Jones...
repair damage? That's...
It's not he didn't repair damage. I'm looking at it now.
Thing because it's on now when
I'm looking at it. He goes into the pits. It gets replaced, and then it goes off again. So we'll assume that's just a graphical thing because it is on now. So that is quite weird. But Massey P5.
Peter Jones into the pit lane.
Alright, so we're going to keep a close eye on these 86 cars now. Jakub also into the pit lane, so we're going to look at the free cam of the pit lane. And just see.
Ida is also in the pit lane. Ribioli also in the pit lane.
And Dimitri has retired from this race. There you go. Jakub almost getting the gap down to Peter. Then we'll have a look further. Massey is going to get held.
Everyone's in the pit lane, except Reichel and Lafreniere.
Quite a long stop from Massey. Him and Simon, him losing time to Simon, if anything. This is the first time this mic has ever caused me problems, and I've had it for 2 years, so that's peculiar. Anyway, we look now. Can Max get the jump on his teammate? And as Peter comes round the final corner, Max is almost out of the pit lane. Max could get the jump on him. He's gone for the overcut. And he's actually made it work. Although Peter, now on the fresher tyres, less fresh tyres, but the warmer tyres, sorry, can he chip away at his teammate's lap time?
And unless Jakub manages to fix what was wrong with it the first time, because I think the setup is not right for race distance, because he was dropping back so far before the pit stop, and now he's gained all that again, and I think they might just be eating his tires.
So now he goes for the move, but Peter Jones is quite defensive, and now Peter Jones is going to go defensive again. And he is the widest car you can get. But that would have been a good move from Jakub. Can he get around? Peter Jones has got the inside line. Can he get a better exit out of here? And maybe squeeze Jakub out? He can't. But now Jakub has got the toe down the pit straight. Peter desperately tries to weave and break the toe. They both break at the 100 board. Jakub almost actually cutting the corner there a little bit.
No.
Only
unless the rules change, curbs are considered part of the track, so you can drive. If you're with 2 wheels on them, then you're not cutting.
Okay, fair enough. But you just get past anyway. But yeah.
Nice fight for P5. Simon on Riboli on the outside. Oh, that's late braking. That's late. And he does it.
And he does it.
Wow.
That was quite an impressive move. Even though I can't say I was rooting for Simon there. Massey and his former reading game teammate fighting. Now Massey's is these Crousset cars. Perhaps they're running the same setup that's just really harsh on the tyres, but also really fast on new tyres. Because we're coming towards the end of this race, lap 17/lap 18. One of the two. Massey goes for the move on Simon. They almost touch, and no, that's too fast of a corner to get a move done there. But now he's got a toe down the straight. Simon gets a little bit on the grass. That gives Massey much better exit. He goes around the outside because Simon goes defensive, perhaps with a switchback. Simon once again takes a lot of curb, but Massey is just not able to overtake him because of where it is on the track. Simon goes very deep into the penultimate turn. Now into this final bend. And if Massey can get into the slipstream, he can get past Simon once more. This is quite a good battle in the Australian Grand Prix. Simon goes defensive, Massey goes to the outside, and he just breaks later than him there. Now Massey's going to try and get a toe once again down this straight here. And once again, Simon covering off the inside. Quite a good defensive display from I think he's Polish, I don't know. Grass there, on the grass there from Massey, that could have killed the battle. We'll have to see how the rest of this fares. After getting airborne because of Creox Baguette on lap 1, Creox is now behind him and he's now defending from Creox. Now the battle is quite far back, but Creox had better pace in practice, and look how much he's gained in one braking zone alone. Now we can't judge because of the tyres. Now, obviously, strategy playing quite a big part this season. We're going to have a look now. Creox gets the toe. Looks like he's going to go for a move, but Sean covers him off. Very good for toe is this track by the looks of things from what we've seen. Simon still keeping Massey behind him. The gap now 1.1 seconds. But looking at Creox, who is on the bumper of Sean Jones, perhaps into this really fast corner here. Now you'd have to be brave to go for a move there. We could see contact here, and Sean just completely cuts him off. That was fair, but a brave thing to do. He goes for the move, but Sean is just able to brake a little bit later. Now we're going to have a look who got the better exit, and it's Sean. Sean has now managed to pull a little gap but he's possibly managed to pull a gap long enough to defend him off for at least another lap. This is quite an impressive display from the brand new Prime GP car after such a disappointing qualifying session for his teammate. But I could have spoken too soon, as Creox now desperately cannot get past him. Now they are both going to have to let Aegis pass behind because he is a front runner getting into the mix, and immediately it's basically killed the battle because Jakub has the toe. This was the championship battle that we could see this season that wasn't quite what we wanted last season. Gave us an exciting finale, but Max came out on top. He gets to wear the number 1 on his car. But will Jakub get him in this race and obviously become, without sounding like Formula E, go into the lead of the championship? Although that doesn't really mean anything after the first race. But psychologically, if you have the lead of the championship, you feel like you're in the better position, no matter what that race is.
Whoa.
Max squeezing Jakub as much as he physically can. They almost make contact. Jakub goes through the inside and Max is able to just keep his nose in. This is good racing. Now Jakub will have the inside line for this corner. You have to think maybe he's got the move done. They're basically touching and Jakub gets the move done. And now we're going to look at Max. Jakub had to basically squeeze Max off the track to get that move done.
And a crash for P4. It's Simon. He dies, bumped him.
That sends Massey into P5. And Sean Jones has gone off the track. Simon hit Sean Jones, or Sean Jones hit Simon. That sent Simon careering off. And so does Sean Jones, who is now down into P10 because that was able to set him up enough for Creox to overtake him. I'm looking at the replay now on my phone, and Simon just doesn't see him coming, and Creox and Sean just goes into the back of it hard as they can. Max goes around the outside, and has he managed to get him? I think he will, because he's now got the inside to this corner here. But now Jakub's got the inside. They're just rubbing as much as they are allowed.
Side by side through that section. That's incredibly impressive that they managed to do that.
Max is trying to stay with him desperately. This is the last lap of the Grand Prix. I am pretty sure this is the last lap of the Grand Prix. Max has to make the move as soon as he can. Jakub, after such a bad first stint, has come back and he's managed to possibly get the win here. But there's still one more straight, which is a realistic overtaking opportunity for Max, as long as he gets good enough. It could be Simon, Jakub's teammate, that stops this. As traffic, basically. Jakub goes onto the cup. Is Max going to go for the move? He goes for the move, but Jakub covers him off the best he can. Round the outside goes Max into the final corner. He's not able to take it. It looks like Jakub's going to take the win here in the virtual.
This is going to be really close.
It's going to be close. Max pulls out on him. And I think it was Jakub. Jakub just got him. Peter comes third. I think that is his first podium in the Virtual Open Wheel Series. Now we're looking at Aegis to come fourth and then Massey to come fifth. Quite good considering he had a start like that. And most importantly, I just saw a CGP car and Massey spun. And he hasn't crossed the line yet, but he is on the back straight. So, bit of a Lando Norris Abu Dhabi 2018 there.
And so that brought to an end a classic race that would perhaps make an interesting highlights package in 2 years' time. Max and Jakub taking a battle all the way to the line, setting up a championship battle unrivalled in this series to this date. And of course, this race saw the emergence of some brand new talents. We had Sean Jones making his first appearance in a full-time seat, and it was mightily impressive indeed to see him take some points and of course now do very well in the R Factor 2 space indeed. But apart from that, we'd like to thank you all very much for watching this little highlights package that I've put together for the Virtual Open Wheel Series Australian Grand Prix in Season 5 from, of course, December 2019. A lot has changed since then. hasn't it? But anyway, we will be doing highlights packages for all of the races from Season 5 over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully eventually get a highlights package out for all of the races that we broadcast back in the day. But for now, I have been Tom Dillon, and I was joined 2 years ago by Marton Farkas. And I'd like to thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all later. Good night.